Agnes Hailstone and her family became true stars due to their unique and impressive life in the wilds of Alaska. Their story interested viewers not only because of its challenging nature, but also because of the peculiarities of living and working in such an incredibly harsh climate. Agnes quickly became popular not only because of the TV series, but also because of her looks and energetic personality. She became a style icon for many of her fans who admired her strength, endurance, and steadfastness in the face of adversity. Click the like button and subscribe right now. Welcome to Wild Assault. The Hailstone family has also become a symbol of unity and friendship. Their relationship and support for each other in the most difficult of situations has thrilled audiences and inspired many with the strength of family bonds. In addition, Agnes has actively used her popularity to support environmental protection and education about life in the wilderness. Thus, Agnes Hailstone and her family became not only celebrities thanks to life below zero, but also an example for many people around the world who strive for a strong, independent, and successful life in harmony with nature. Agnes Hailstone and her family live in the most remote corner of Alaska, far from civilization, in extreme cold and harsh weather conditions. They have to fight every day to survive by supplying themselves with food, water, and fuel. One of the main challenges Agnes and her family face is the inaccessibility of medical care. In case of illness or injury, they have to rely only on their own skills and knowledge, as the nearest medical center is a long distance away. Also, Agnes and her family are constantly facing the problem of lack of food and resources. They are forced to hunt, fish, and grow vegetables to provide food for themselves, processes that often take a great deal of time and effort. Another major difficulty is isolation from the outside world. Agnes and her family live far away from other people and have to rely only on themselves and each other. This creates additional pressure and stress, especially in case of an emergency. All of these challenges make life incredibly difficult for Agnes and her family, but they never lose hope and optimism. Their story serves as an example that even in the harshest of circumstances, it is possible to maintain hope and fight for a better future. Agnes's life and background before her popularity. Agnes Hailstone was part of the Inupiaq tribe, Alaska Native people who traditionally lived on the northwest coast of the state. The Inupiaq have been and continue to be a people of hunters and fishermen, dependent on the sea and wildlife for survival. Agnes spent her childhood and adolescence in a small village on the shores of the Bering Sea, surrounded by beautiful nature and picturesque scenery. She inherited from her ancestors a deep respect for nature and traditional tribal customs that have been passed down from generation to generation. Agnes was known for her hunting and fishing skills. Indeed, many facts about Agnes Hailstone are questionable and controversial. Some researchers claim she was born on June 14, 1971, while other sources point to 1972 as the year of her birth. It is known that the name Agnes is of Latin origin and translates as pure. However, it is believed that she was named after a tropical cyclone that struck the ocean in 1972 and was named Hurricane Agnes. This cyclone brought destruction, many casualties, and was one of the most destructive events of the time. Some claim that the name Agnes was chosen by herself solely because of this hurricane, in which she saw a force and element that could destroy everything in its path. She believed that her name should carry the same power and inexhaustible energy as Hurricane Agnes. However, all of these claims have not been accurately confirmed, and there are still many questions about the life and identity of Agnes Hailstone. The mystery and enigma of this woman attracts attention and arouses the interest of many viewers of the show Life Below Zero. Since she was a child, Agnes had to learn and help her tribe with hunting and fishing. She spent a lot of time with her father, who taught her how to use various weapons and trapping devices to hunt wild animals. Agnes also learned from her mother how to fish and catch a catch. She spent hours on the beach watching the waves and studying the behavior of fish. She learned how to fish using nets, rods, and other devices, and how to prepare the catch for food. Each year, Agnes became better and more skillful in her skills. She hunted marine animals such as seals, whales, and walrus, and fished for different types of fish to provide food for her family. Her skills and prowess were highly valued in her tribe, and she became known as one of the best hunters and fishers in her tribe. After Agnes grew up and became an accomplished hunter and fisherwoman, she began to think about her place in the world. She felt ready to seek out new challenges and explore the world outside of her tribe. After gathering her belongings and uniforms, Agnes decided to set out for the wilds of Alaska. She left her tribe, hoping for new adventures and opportunities that awaited her outside the walls of her home village. As she began her journey through Alaska, Agnes encountered the incredible beauty and wildlife of this amazing place. She traveled through mountainous regions, forests, rivers, and tundra, hunting native animals and fishing. Her skills and prowess really set her apart from other hunters and fishermen. Agnes also met other tribes and people who lived in the same wild places. She learned new techniques and methods of hunting and fishing from them, sharing her experiences and knowledge. Agnes survived in the Alaskan wilderness because of her hunting and fishing skills that she learned as a child. She was an excellent marksman and knew how to seek shelter and food in the wilderness. One day, during another hunting trip, Agnes was caught in a storm. A strong wind and blizzard caught her in an open field, and she lost her bearings. Not knowing how to get out of the storm, she wandered through the snowfield until she lost her strength and fell to the ground. Fortunately, a group of hunters stalking game discovered Agnes and took her into their care. They brought her to their village, located near the town of Norvik. In the city of Norvik, Agnes saw modern technology and society for the first time. She marveled as she observed the life of the townspeople and learned their customs. At first, she had a hard time adjusting to her new life, but gradually she found her place among the people in Norvik. She continued to develop her hunting and fishing skills, occasionally traveling out of town to the countryside to enjoy her old passion. At the same time, she was learning the new technology and ways of living that the city offered. One day, while walking through the town, Agnes met a young man named Leo. Leo was a fisherman and was also fond of hunting, which immediately aroused Agnes's interest. They began to socialize, sharing experiences, and became close friends. Soon their friendship grew into a deep love, and Agnes and Leo realized they were made for each other. They decided to get married and start a family. After a while, they had 2 wonderful children, a son and a daughter. Agnes and Leo are happy, forming a warm and friendly family in Norvik. Although Agnes has changed markedly from the wild girl she once was, she has retained her skills and passion for nature and hunting. Leo began to express his concern that Agnes was still passionate about hunting, considering it too dangerous for a woman. He argued that she needed to think more about children and family welfare than about adventures in the outdoors. Agnes, for her part, claimed that hunting was her passion and her way to relax and unwind. She was unwilling to give up her hobby for the sake of family comfort. His displeasure with Leo went so far that they began to quarrel frequently. Despite Leo's protests, Agnes continued to go hunting anyway, irritating her husband more and more. Eventually, their relationship became untenable and they made the decision to divorce. Although it was a hard decision for both of them, Agnes and Leo realized that their values and hobbies were too different. Nevertheless, they remained good parents to their children and continued to maintain a friendly relationship in the future. After her divorce from Leo, Agnes decided to return to her old hobbies and passion for hunting. She went back to her walks in the Alaskan wilderness, hunting local animals and fishing. One day, during one of their outings, Agnes got into big trouble. A wild animal attacked her and she found herself in a desperate situation. With no chance of escape, Agnes was about to die. Chip, who happened to be an experienced hunter and rescuer, led Agnes to safety and administered first aid. He saved her life and did everything he could to help her recover from the beast attack. Thanks to Chip, Agnes was able to survive and return to her activities. She was very grateful to him for saving her and decided to get to know him better. Chip turned out to be a kind and caring man who saved her life. Chip was born in Kalispell, Montana, and like Agnes's, was surrounded by the hunting culture from a young age. His father, Daniel, was an experienced hunter and taught the boy everything he knew himself. He taught Chip a variety of skills, from shotgun shooting and woodland orientation to shelter building and survival in extreme conditions. Chip spent a lot of time outdoors with his dad, and each hunt became a real life lesson for him. He learned to be aware of his surroundings, sense danger, make quick decisions, and trust his instincts. His father also taught Chip to appreciate and respect nature, not just as a source of prey, but as part of his life. He taught his son to respect the environment and leave minimal traces behind. As a result, Chip grew into a skilled hunter and survivalist capable of surviving in any environment. His experiences and skills learned as a child from his father played a big role in his life, especially when he came to Alaska at the age of 19, and although he didn't originally plan to stay there, somehow decided to stay to live in Norvik. Chip also shared with Agnes his dark past, namely that he had to go to prison. For Chip, sitting in jail for perjury was a harsh experience. He always tried to help his family and friends, and when his friend was in trouble, Chip decided to help him without a second thought. However, his friend, to get away with it, decided to turn Chip in to the authorities for perjury. It was a blow to Chip. He did not expect such a treacherous act from his friend and was stunned when he was arrested and accused of the crime. The trial was long and exhausting, and in the end, Chip was sentenced to 2 years in prison. In prison, Chip faced a whole new reality. He came to realize that trust must be earned, and that even the people closest to him can deceive and betray. He used this time to reflect on his actions and mistakes to become stronger and wiser. Chip learned how to survive not only in the wilderness but also in prison conditions. He found the strength and ability to adapt to any circumstance. Despite the difficulties, he never gave up hope and believed that this difficult life situation would make him stronger and better. After getting out of prison, Chip decided to use these negative experiences as a lesson and only move forward. He realized that even in the darkest moments of his life, you can find strength and emerge victorious. It was this willpower and resilience that helped him overcome all challenges and become the man he is today. Chip supported Agnes's passion for hunting, as he was also a keen hunter. They began spending time together, going hunting not only in Alaska, but also in other wild places. Through their adventures together, Agnes and Chip became very close friends. They spent a lot of time together sharing their experiences and the joy of successful hunting trips. Together, they lived incredible adventures, traveling through mountains, forests, and rivers, exploring the wilderness. With each new adventure and hunting trophy, their relationship grew closer. They shared not only hunting adventures, but also personal moments and discussed their dreams and goals in life. Soon, Agnes and Chip realized that their feelings for each other were deepening, and they became not just friends, but a support and encouragement for each other. Their mutual understanding and mutual passion for hunting brought them even closer, and they became inseparable companions on their adventures. One day, Chip invited Agnes to spend a weekend in nature, where they planned to go hunting. After a successful hunting trip and a successful catch, they had a picnic by the lake at sunset. At that moment, Chip took Agnes's hand and told her that he had always been happy around her, that her presence in his life meant a lot to him. He remembered the day he had saved her life and realized that he didn't want to live without her anymore. Chip looked her carefully in the eyes and asked, "Agnes, are you ready to be my wife and spend the rest of our lives together, accepting each other for who we are?" For a moment, there was a loud murmur of uncertainty in Agnes's heart. Her previous marriage had been a failure, and she was afraid of experiencing heartache again. But she looked at Chip, saw all his sincerity and concern, and in his eyes, she saw only love and devotion. As if inspired by his sincerity, Agnes remembered all their adventures, every moment spent together, and realized that she couldn't imagine her life without Chip. She smiled and replied, "Yes, Chip, I agree to marry you and spend the rest of my life with you, knowing that we have each other." Chip hugged her tightly and kissed her, promising to be her support and encouragement through all the difficulties and joys of life. They both knew that even a bad experience in the past would not prevent them from building a happy future together based on mutual respect, trust, and love. The bond between Agnes and Chip was so deep and strong that they both decided they wanted to start a family together. Their passion for adventure and hunting was passed on to their daughters, and from childhood the girls were surrounded by wildlife and taught survival skills. Agnes and Chip's 5 daughters grew up near the lakes and forests of Alaska, spending a lot of time outdoors with their parents. They learned to shoot guns, navigate the woods, build shelters, and survive in extreme conditions under the guidance of their parents. Every summer, the family went on long hikes in the wilderness where the girls explored nature, observed animals, and learned to respect the environment. They learned the skills of hunting, fishing, berry and mushroom picking, and always helped their parents with camping trips. Each daughter had her own characteristics. The eldest was brave and a leader, the middle one was skilled in hunting, the youngest was creative and exploratory, and the twins were always fun and active. The girls learned to work as a team, support each other, and make decisions in extreme situations. They were not just sisters, but true partners and allies in the struggle for survival, thanks to the skills and experiences passed down to them from their parents' daughters. Agnes and Chipa have grown into strong and independent women, ready for any of life's challenges. Their love for nature and adventure has become an integral part of their personality, and they have always been proud of their roots and respect for nature. Thus, Agnes and Chip's family became not just a family, but a true clan of survivalists, where each member was ready to support each other in any situation and cope with all the challenges thrown at them by fate. After starting a family, Agnes and Chip decided to settle near the Kobuk River in the Arctic region of northwest Alaska. They chose this place because of its beauty, abundance of nature, and opportunities for hunting and fishing. The family home was built with wood and other materials found locally. It was cozy and functional, with all the amenities for comfortable living in the harsh Arctic environment. Agnes and Chip created a true paradise for themselves and their daughters. They used their experience and survival skills to set up their life away from civilization. They grew vegetables, hunted wildlife, fished, and picked berries and mushrooms to provide fresh and healthy food for their family. Next to the house was a small garden where Agnes grew vegetables and herbs for use in cooking and healing. Chip took care of the surrounding area, built shelters for the animals, and provided the family with wood fuel and other materials. The daughters helped their parents with all their chores, learned survival and self-sufficiency skills from them, and enjoyed every day spent in nature. Life by the Kobuk River was difficult but exciting and fulfilling. Agnes and Chip's family lived in harmony with nature, respecting it and loving all of its manifestations. They spent time fishing, hunting, gathering wild berries and mushrooms, and enjoying the beauty of Arctic nature. They learned wisdom and beauty from her and became more and more connected to her. Agnes and Chip's family was like one, where each member gave strength and support to the other. They treated each other and nature with respect, and their home was filled with warmth, love, and understanding. Thus, life by the Kobuk River became for Agnes and Chip their true and only home, where they found their place on Earth and were able to truly enjoy the simplicity and beauty of living in harmony with nature. For Agnes and Chip, their life at the Kobuk River was not just a daily routine, but a true adventure and a test of survival skills. They decided to leave their legacy for the ages by sharing their experiences and knowledge with others. They participated in a show called Life Below Zero, where they showed their life away from civilization in Alaska. In the show, they shared their skills in hunting, fishing, berry and mushroom picking, and survival techniques in extreme conditions. The show's audience appreciated their experience and sincerity, and many people found in them a source of inspiration and wisdom. Agnes and Chip became the true stars of the show Life Below Zero, showing that life in the wilderness can be challenging, but also exciting and fulfilling. Their participation in the show helped them share their knowledge with millions of people around the world. Their lives became a source of inspiration and respect for many. They showed the importance of respecting and appreciating nature, being self-reliant and independent, and always helping others in times of need. Agnes and Chip's family left their mark on history as true survivalists, connected to nature and their love for each other. Agnes and Chip's life at Kobuk River was full of adventures, challenges, and joys. They created a unique and harmonious family space where each family member found their place and purpose. Love, respect, and support have been the foundation of their relationship, and they have been able to overcome all difficulties and challenges together. Participating in the show Life Below Zero was not only an opportunity for them to share their experience and knowledge, but also a way to inspire millions of people around the world. Their story has become a symbol of strength, endurance, and integrity, Their friendship and love has become an example to many who seek harmony with nature and themselves within. Their life, their story, is a story about the importance of caring for and respecting the natural environment. The importance of being self-reliant, strong, and wise. This is a story of how love, trust, and support can overcome any obstacle and turn life into a real adventure. Agnes and Chip left their mark on history as true heroes and icons, showing that true strength lies not only in knowledge and skills, but also in the human spirit and soul. Their story will be remembered by many as an example of true love, family well-being, and harmony with nature.